Welcome to my Halloween franchise ranking. There are 11 films in the series, but I'm counting the alternate version of Halloween 6, the producer's cut, as a separate film. So here's my ranking of the 12 films in the Halloween series. Here we go. Number 12, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I wasn't a fan of Rob Zombie's take on the franchise, and all the problems I had with his remake were amplified in this film. It's got some interesting ideas, and for better or worse, Rob Zombie really makes the material his own. But obnoxious characters, weird visions, and an unsatisfying take on the character of Michael Myers makes this my least favorite installment in the series. Number 11, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Remaking a horror classic was always going to be difficult, and I applaud Rob Zombie for giving it his all. But like his sequel, this one suffers from an unsatisfying take on the Halloween source material. Although the first half is pretty good, and the second half has its moments, Rob Zombie was, in my opinion, the absolute wrong person to reboot the Halloween franchise. Number 10, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the theatrical cut. This film had a tortured production history complete with massive studio interference, reshoots, and the death of star Donald Pleasance. All the behind-the-scenes drama shows in the finished product, which gives us a choppy and messy film. But even still, it's got some great moments, good performances, and a nice atmosphere. It's just a shame that the film wasn't what it could have been. Number 9, Halloween H2O. This movie was a pretty big deal when it was released in 1998, and although it didn't quite live up to all the hype, it's still a lot of fun. Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic, and the movie has a wealth of great moments. But the recycled music from Scream, the constantly changing Michael mask, and a lesser performance by Chris Durand as the Shape brings this one down a few notches on my list. Number 8, Halloween Resurrection. Also known as The One Everybody Hates, I find Resurrection to be a really fun film. Yes, the premise is cheesy and most of the characters are annoying. And yes, Busta Rhymes should have been violently killed in this movie. But I had a good time with it. Brad Loree plays a great Michael, the mask is cool, and it's got a nice, cheesy slasher movie vibe to it. Number 7, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the producer's cut. Another divisive entry, I find this version of Halloween 6 to be far superior to the theatrical cut. It's got flaws, and really runs with the misguided Thorn cult storyline, but there's also a lot of good stuff here. The choppy, jumbled mess of the theatrical cut is not present here, and Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis gives a fantastic performance in what would be his final film. Most of his scenes were cut out of the theatrical cut, and the fantastic score was largely deleted from that version as well. Even the flawed third act in this version was preferable to the theatrical version. So yeah, overall a flawed entry, but I liked it. Number 6, Halloween 2018. The newest, to date, Halloween film takes place after the original and ignores all the sequels. This aspect kinda bugged me, but I do think the Halloween franchise needed to get back to the basics after the misguided Rob Zombie films. And this movie does just that. Michael is the best and scariest he's been in years, and Jamie Lee Curtis is again fantastic. It's not a perfect film, but I came away very happy with it. Number 5, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Another hated entry in the franchise, I actually really enjoyed this one. The flaws are plentiful, from killing off a popular character, to Michael's mask, to introducing the Thorn storyline. But there's a lot of good stuff here. Michael is imposing, and Don Shanks does a fantastic job in the role. Dr. Loomis is more obsessed than ever, and the entire third act in the abandoned Myers house is classic stuff. Seriously, this movie is nowhere near as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Number 4, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Yet another divisive entry, this standalone film has no Michael Myers and is a sequel in name only. And you know what? I love it. The storyline about an evil warlock with a plot to murder the world's children is great. The Halloween atmosphere, musical score, and badass Tom Atkins make it an 80s horror classic. A lot of people hate this one, but I don't really care. I love it. Number 3, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Michael's grand return after the shapeless Halloween 3 is one hell of a fun movie. Everything works in this film. The cast is solid, the score is amazing, and the direction nearly flawless. George Wilbur does a fantastic job as Michael, and the film is loaded with many classic scenes. Most fans tend to hate the mask in this one, but I didn't think it was that bad. Overall, it's a great movie, and one of the best Halloween sequels of all time. Number 2, Halloween 2. Speaking of great sequels, Halloween 2 is not only the best Halloween sequel, but one of the greatest sequels of all time. The film picks up the very second the original ends, and I love the attention to continuity. Watching it back to back with the original feels like watching one long movie. Dick Warlock is fantastic as Michael, and this was the only sequel to use the original mask. It really is a shame that the new Halloween sequels ignore this movie. Number 1. Halloween. The original Halloween is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's practically flawless, from the characters, to the score, to John Carpenter's direction. Every shot, every moment is the work of a master. Michael is the best he's ever been, and the film absolutely lives up to its reputation as a horror classic. So that's my ranking of the franchise. I actually really love this series, some more than others, but they all have merit. The Rob Zombie films are my least favorite in the franchise, but I have found them easier to accept now that the series is back on track. So what do you think of my rankings? And how would you rank the series? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button in the corner for more videos.